kids nowadays stupid?
Or is it the brain rot?
Brain rot.
Brain rot. Have you never heard of that? Okay.
Literally, what the?
Okay. So basically, let me explain. So basically, it started out as a TikTok term, but now I feel like it is applicable to everyday life as well. So basically, what it is due to the short form and trash content that people are consuming on the internet, their brain rots in quotation marks. It doesn't develop properly for kids, and for adults the content doesn't promote like creative thinking or critical thinking, so it's not stimulating, mentally stimulating. So basically it's just trash content that ends up in brain rot.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of crap in the internet. And the fact that kids are exposed to that, like, it's kind of scary because it's the next generation. And what are you watching? Like,
Exactly, like your future doctor might be watching Cocomelon right now. I don't know.
I personally have like a live example at home. Like whenever my niece comes to our house, she usually just watches TikTok. Like she doesn't do anything else. And as soon as like the battery runs out from her phone, she goes and asks for someone else's phone, like my dad's or her grandma's or somebody else's. Like she can't stay without a phone in her hand or a tablet or anything else.
yeah, and my brother, like, the TV is always on YouTube or Netflix, anything. Like, he literally cannot do anything in the day, like, without it.
Yeah, and it's not even just one device. It's like the TV is on, but they're also holding a tablet on their hands.
Yes, exactly. And they might be eating while they're watching whatever. And they, I don't know, I think that they don't understand exactly what they're doing. It's like zombies.
Oh, okay, so that's scary. Like
Yeah.
they're not aware of what's
Yes.
going on. Like they are so absorbed in what they are watching that they don't understand what they are doing or what is happening around them. It's like,
Yeah, sometimes they don't even eat. Like, they have to eat. It's in front of you, but I don't.
and the parents use the devices as a distraction for them
Yeah.
to eat, and they end up not eating.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
like they forget to eat, even though it's like a basic need. Like if they have a phone in front of them, like they forget to do what they're supposed to, like eat, even if the food is in front of them.
Exactly. Like they are not aware of their surroundings, and they're not in touch with reality.
Yeah, and toilet is an example too.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean. Like,
Do-
I want. If you go inside with the phone and you end up in there like for 30 minutes, like, but
So they can't even take a 5-minute toilet break
yes.
from their devices.
Yeah, and they just sit there and watch whatever they're watching on the phone, and you want to go to the toilet.
And since you guys have those examples, do you think like that it affects them in other aspects of their lives as well, like in their everyday, their mannerisms and stuff like that?
Oh my God, that's a problem too. Like, aggressiveness. I don't know if it is what they're watching, or if it's like becoming an addiction, like devices, and when you don't have them, you're like a more aggressive, or that you watch something that promotes, let's say, violence or something.
I think it's because it's an addiction, and when you lack your daily dose of that addiction, you get aggressive. And especially when it's like something like the phone that you can have all day, every day. When you don't, you get aggressive and you start acting in a weird way, let's say.
Like, my brother is a little kid and he's screaming all the time. Like, he's angry and screaming. Like, you just ask him, like, do you want to eat something? Like, are you okay? And he screams. It's tragic.
Unprovoked.
It's
Unprovoked.
tragic.
And maybe it's also like because they spend so much time on these devices that they don't really get to communicate and interact with
Yes.
kids their age. So they don't know how to act around other people. Like
Yeah.
they're not socializing as much.
Exactly. That's true. Yeah.
They lack basic social skills.
Yes. And even if they're at an age where it's not socially acceptable to lack social skills, for example, how old is your niece?
She's 9, and she can't even talk properly to other people. Like she gets anxious or she just can't. And it's not because she's shy. She hasn't developed social skills that allow her to be able to do that comfortably.
Exactly. I mean, we also had access to these devices, and we also, I'm not gonna argue that we were outside playing and socializing all the time. Like we watched TV, we did stuff like that, but we knew how to speak and interact properly with people. And I think that's something that this generation will probably lack in the future too. Like as teens and adults, they might have that problem too.
But like, was it ever that bad? When we were their age, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't. We had access to the internet a little later than them, and that was what allowed us to be able to develop properly. Now they can't. I feel like they can't, truly. Like, I feel like this will cause a huge problem in the future.
Certainly.
Mm.
Yeah. I feel like there is things we can do about it, but we just aren't because it's convenient to just throw them a screen in front of them and have them off your mind. Like
Mm.
be comfortable while they are also comfortable and not getting out of the comfort zones and not learning things and not developing properly, might I say.
So there is no future. It's dark, I know, but I'm actually worried about that. What are we gonna do? Like, there are so many problems on the planet, and I think that there is no future, like for like climate change and stuff. But if you live in a world where people cannot function and have like the proper skills to live, basically, I don't know. I just
And it's not just kids we're talking about. We're also talking about like preteens, like 10, 11, 12-year olds, which these are kids, but they're at an age where they should be old enough to understand some certain topics, and they're simply ignorant and they're not interested in learning about stuff. Like they simply don't care. And at that age, I think it was the age that I cared the most about everything. I was very deeply interested in learning and being active and stuff, and that just doesn't exist anymore. Like there is no interest in anything. Everyone is passive.
I feel like they're kind of doomed to not live a good life, let's say, whatever you take in good life as. But with what's happening and how they're reacting and what they are doing, basically, I don't know. I don't know how we can even like stop this from happening. I don't think there's a way anymore, to be honest. Maybe in the next generation, but not this one. Okay, let's be real for a second. Your mind needs time in every day for you to be able to digest, for it to be able to digest and process things that have happened throughout the day. For example, you need some time that you're basically doing nothing for your mind to be able to take in all the information from your day. And that's the time where new ideas are born, where you kind of connect with what's happening and all that. And that's the solution. Like you need time with no screen in front of you for your mind to be able to work properly and function properly.
Yeah, and when kids and people in general are constantly stimulated, like when there's constant stimulation and there's one vid after the other with no pause in between, and you're just scrolling after 15 seconds, which we're not even watching the whole 1 minute videos, we're scrolling after like 10, 15, 20 seconds. We're not giving our brain the time it needs to shut down maybe for a bit and actually reflect on what is happening and process information and make use and sense out of the information that you're processing. And when the generation that is now developing is not doing that, then that's an issue. That's an issue.
And I think that we just lose the concept of reality sometimes. And it is like technology is developing and stuff, but I think that nowadays things are not real. I don't know how to explain it exactly, but like AI and stuff, I think that we're losing the concept of reality and the concept of time because I don't know, I think that there's some sort of pause and
It's like
it's
it's moving
strange.
so fast that we don't have the time to realize how much it's changing and actually like understand what's happening. If that's what you mean, I don't know if that's what you mean. Maybe you mean something else.
No, I don't know. I'm just confused right now. I think that everything you said is so true. And yeah.
Epiphany. Okay, so since we are aware of what's happening and we understand it,
Yeah,
to
that's the first step to actually finding a solution to it.
Exactly. Yeah. Because if we understand the problem, we can fix it, basically. But I think that we should do something about those little kids, let's say, that will be people of the world. I don't know.
yeah, and even if we can, let's say, save these kids now, maybe we can prevent the future generation from having like the same behaviors because our generation is the future parents. So we can prevent that from happening again. We can raise our children a bit differently and maybe stop this brain rot.